Okay, good morning. My name is Ben Quell. I'm the Veteran Service Officer on behalf of the City of Attleboro and the veterans of Attleboro. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our annual Hillside Memorial Service. This is a ceremony and service that has been going on longer than I think anybody can remember, and I mean that. I ask all the folks around here how long we've been doing it, and nobody really knows it's that old of a tradition. But that's Attleboro. Attleboro's been honoring veterans longer than any community in the country. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would ask that you join our veterans in posting the colors. Commander Lynch, post the colors.
Order! Post the colors! Ready? Hold.
Okay, we'll keep going with this part. And cross over here. All right. And face back.
Fellow citizens, would you now join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To give the invocation, I would invite Don Vandal, our veteran chaplain, to come to the podium.
That's fine.
O God, O Heavenly Father, you have blessed us with brave women and men who are willing to defend our freedom. May your protection and grace surround them each day. Let your healing hand be upon those who suffer wounds and injuries. May those who have made ultimate sacrifice rest forever in your holy presence. Comfort the families who mourn and are left to remember the precious lives of their loved ones. Help us to honor and support them. Let us ever be mindful of each sacrifice made on behalf of the American people by our sons, daughters, husbands, wives, mothers, fathers, and friends. Amen.
Thank you, Don. Fellow Americans, as far back as anyone can recall, our city has always shed its blood in every war campaign this country has engaged in. Our community is full of so many veteran graves and memorials that my office has to work harder than most towns to keep them in the shape they so rightfully deserve. But honestly, how do you properly pay homage to a person that laid down their life for ours? I think the best answer is we can't. We can only try. But we should rest easy. None of these brave souls considered their service as a debt. They were all proud to serve. However, we cannot help ourselves. We have a natural sense of guilt. Why did they have to die? How can we make right this feeling in our gut to know that a young man or woman lost their life so that we would not have to? It's only natural for us to carry that weight, for we all are good people. And part of that goodness demands that we forever carry the sorrow of loss. It's okay to remember them in both mourning and celebration. Today, we hold our heads low in remembrance and also celebrate their lives with burgers and beer. We believe this is what they would want, for us to live happy in the comfort of family and friends. After all, continued happiness is what they were fighting for, and it is what they died for. So yes, let's enjoy this Memorial Day weekend. In honor of the democracy in which they laid their lives down for, I'd like to invite some of our elected leaders to say a few words. I see in the crowd we have the duly elected state senator, Paul Feeney. Please come to the podium if you would, sir.
Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful and glorious day it is to be here this morning. It's always one of my favorite events, and I know you've probably heard many elected officials say that about different events, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Every year we come out here, excuse me, in the midst of Memorial Day weekend, and we stand on holy ground. We stand on holy ground with each other in community for a very poignant and powerful reason. To recommit ourselves, not only to remember those who have fallen in defense of our nation's ideals and values, but to look inward and to ask ourselves a very poignant question. Are we living our lives? Are we living our lives worthy of their sacrifice? Oftentimes when we get caught up in the day-to-day of what we do and what we do for work and who we are and community and troubles and politics and divisiveness, it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget why we have such an incredible opportunity to come together as community to have those discussions, to do what we do, to serve how we serve. But then you have a day like this, a weekend like this on Memorial Day, where it becomes evident. I'll tell you a quick story. I'll be brief. I was on the way over here this morning, and one of the things I think many people don't realize about me is I have a little bit of color blindness. A genetic thing, and some colors I don't see that well. My family went out and they bought me these glasses that help me see those colors. You don't wear them all the time, but as I was coming here this morning, I put those glasses on because the sun was at a low angle, and all of a sudden I start to see colors I never saw, I never thought of. I don't live my day seeing a lot of the reds in a sunset, for instance, or seeing the green pop in a place like this. And I put those glasses on and all of a sudden it became evident to me. And as I was thinking about that coming in here this morning into this cemetery, I thought, my God, Memorial Day is like those sunglasses that help us see something that we don't see every single day. That when we come out and we share the stories of those that have lost, those that were lost, we tell those stories about those that were close to us, whether they are on the tip of our tongue or in the depths of our heart. Gold Star families especially have so much value in telling us the stories of who their loved ones are, who they loved, how they lived. That is so important for us as a nation, to see that every single day, to put the glasses on, to understand that we are part of something so much greater than ourselves. And for those men and women that left the comforts of our community here in Attleboro especially, we stand here today not only grateful for their service, but recommitting ourselves to living our lives that is worthy of their sacrifice. So I want to thank you all for being here, especially young people from year to year that I see coming here. I want to thank the elected officials here in Attleboro, Mayor DeSimone, my friend and colleague, Representative Hawkins, Councilor Delicio, Ryan, a future city councilor here in Attleboro, no doubt. But to everybody else, to our veterans that serve every single day and that come here to make this special every single year, thank you, thank you, thank you. May God continue to bless our veterans. May God bless our Gold Star families. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Feeney. Now, our state representative, James Hawkins.
Thank you. This is truly an honor to do this. One of the things that we get in the House of Representatives is we get every Friday before Memorial Day a speech that we can give, which I printed, and it's 5 pages, double-sided, so I will spare you that speech. And I will tell you what I always say at this event, how much I honor my friendship with the veterans in this community in both posts, and the respect that we share for the people who didn't come back from serving their time. There's a wonderful group of people who are active in the community who have not forgotten the reason that they serve this country. And I see so many here who have served, and I'm so grateful for your time and glad to be part of paying respect to the people who didn't come back. Thank you.
Thank you, Hawk. I'd now call to the podium our elected administrator, the mayor of our fine community, the Honorable Kathleen DeSimone.
Thank you, Ben. Good morning, everybody. I'm happy to be here. I'm honored to be here. I've been to this ceremony several times, but as I was driving in this morning, I was struck by the juxtaposition of this beautiful sunny day and the lovely weather and the green and the flowers and the smoke of the battlefield and the smell of the fire and the people who lay in pain and suffering and dying. And it's a juxtaposition that is always hard to square. But I think it's important to remember that when we go home and have our burgers and beers, that what we're celebrating today is the gift that others gave, the ultimate sacrifice. So I do love my words, but I am humbled at an event like this, and I don't think I could find enough words. So I'm going to revert to a very famous poem that I think speaks very much to the mood of this event. It's written, as some of you may know, by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. It's called Flanders Fields. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the lark still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us, who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. I hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. May we never, ever, ever forget the sacrifice of all those who came before us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Now, to say a few words on behalf of our elected legislature, I'd call to the podium the president of our city council, Ms. Jay Delisio.
Good morning. It's wonderful to be with each of you here today as we stand on the shoulders of the sacrifice strangers made for us in many wars over many decades for many families. My printer broke, so bear with me while I read my words from my phone in this day and age. It's a true honor to be with each of you today at Hillside Cemetery, which I believe is the oldest in the country. As I tried to capture and articulate my thoughts, I came across remarks I've given in the past, and I read through them, and I discussed them with my wife, and they resonate with my family as much now as they have in the past. So bear with me as I'd like to read them again. Today, we reflect and appreciate the men and women who gave their lives for one cause, freedom. And that freedom was fought under the glory of God and the banner of all glory. There were men and women from all walks of lives, ideologies and motivations on the front lines, united, fighting for freedom, so the United States can be and will always be a beacon of freedom and hope across the globe. Today, we pay our respects to those that gave all, gave all for each of us to have the lives we live. Let's remember their sacrifice. Let their leadership guide our political leaders, and their love of America continue to heal the wounds of our country. Tim McGraw had a song, If You're Reading This. It's a letter from a son, a husband, and a father. He went to war and he never made it home. The song is about him sending that letter and his family reading it together. Sad, but hopeful. Sad, but thankful for the sacrifice he made. I close today by remembering the words of that song and thanking those who laid down their guns, hung up their boots, as the angel sang, Amazing Grace. Thank you all.
I'll now read the official proclamation from the Governor of the Commonwealth for Memorial Day. Whereas while the nation was still recovering from the horrors of the Civil War, people in cities and towns across the country gathered to honor those Union and Confederate soldiers who had given their lives celebrating the first Decoration Day. And whereas after World War I, the nation came together again to honor those who had fallen in service of their country, renamed Memorial Day the last Monday in May, it is when people remember and honor the memory of all men and women who fought and died in all American wars and conflicts. And whereas throughout our country's history, thousands of Massachusetts citizens have fought in wars and conflicts to defend our safety and way of life. And whereas their legacy of patriotism and dedication to country is an inspiration to all Americans, and whereas it is appropriate that all Massachusetts citizens remember the bravery of those who gave their lives so that their sacrifice serve as a reminder of the cost of our freedom. Now, therefore, I, Maura T. Healy, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim May 29th, 2023 to be Memorial Day. The three-volley salute is a military tradition dating back to the Revolutionary War. It is founded in the custom of ceasing hostilities to remove the dead from the battlefield. Once completed, both sides would fire 3 volleys to signal that they were ready to resume the battle. Please rise and face the flag for the rendering of the 3-volley salute and the playing of taps. Commander Lynch, please take charge of your detail.
Mark, ho!
He's it.
Ho! Move. Hey. Push. There it is. Lock and load. Hey. Push. There it is. Lock and load. Hey. Push. Good. Ho!
Thank you, Commander Lynch. This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending and have a great Memorial Day. Don't forget about the parade tomorrow, 10 o'clock.